Hello students, in previous video we have learned about software and classification of software, and we have also learned about operating system. So in this video we are going to start with page number 14. Next point, that is antivirus software. Antivirus software protects your computer from viruses. So antivirus help your computer to be safe from the viruses. It makes sure it protects your computer from viruses. Viruses damage the computer, sometimes leaking some important data, loss of data, or rendering the computer entirely useless. So these are the disadvantages of viruses. It can be damage your data, it can be leak your data, it can be lost your data, or either it can entirely make your computer useless. So जैसे आप लोग बीमार पड़ते हो, right? You get infected by some viruses, right? You have cold, fever. Nowadays also we have one virus over that is COVID-19. So in computer also we have viruses. It affect the computer. Your computer can work slowly, and your data can be lost. When you are not well, you take some medicine, right? So when computer is not well, or you want to take a precautions about your computer, so make sure you upload and install an antivirus software into your computer to protect your computer. Some common antivirus softwares are AVG, Antivirus, McAfee, and Norton. So these are the some names of antivirus software. MS Office application. MS Office is a bundle of desktop applications consisting of MS Word, MS Excel, and MS PowerPoint. So it's again an application. It's very useful for us. You are going to learn this in the higher classes. About MS Word, it also helps us like a notepad to type letters or number. You can type a document into it. Next, about MS Excel, it's come into a form of row and column, which have many sheets, which have many rows and columns, and which helps you to store a bulk amount of data in one file. Next, about MS PowerPoint, students, it helps you to make a presentation. Okay, it helps you to convey your idea to the audience. MS Word is a word processor that allows you to write letters, create reports, and other kinds of documents. MS Excel lets you analyze financial information, calculate numbers, create tables and graphs. With the help of MS Excel, students, you can do the calculation also. You can do addition, subtractions. You can find the minimum number, maximum number. You can calculate average as well. MS PowerPoint is a presentation software allowing you to make usually applying presentations. As I told you, it helps us to make a presentations. So this we learn about antivirus software, MS Office application. Now next is web browser. A web browser is a software that you can use to surf the internet. I hope you all have know this web browser. It's also available in your mobile phone also. The most common browser used for surfing the internet are Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, and Google Chrome. So here this symbol is of Chrome. Again this is Internet Explorer, and this is Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. So these are the few commonly used search engines. We have already used software like the calculator and MS Paint and so on. So in previous in previous standard, we have learned about calculator and MS Paint. So those are also an examples of applications. So I hope you all have understood about software. In software, we have learned about there are two types of software. One is system software and second is application software. Okay, and software is a program that helps you to perform a specific functions. So now we are going to proceed further towards page number 15, point number 4, that is hardware. Hardware forms the physical component of a computer. In previous video, I told you about that, students. Hardware means that we can touch and we can see as well. So hardware is a physical component which you can touch and handle. They are basically the physical elements of a machine. So here a computer is having some physical parts, right? That are monitor, keyboard, mouse, CPU. So these are the parts is called as a hardware parts. Hardware provides the basis for a computer software to operate. So hardware parts help us to operate the some computer softwares, like when you are using a MS Paint. So with the help of mouse only you can use a MS Paint, right? So hardware part is helping us to operate software, right? These devices store and execute the programming instructions, thereby acting as a delivery system for a software. So this devices only help the computer to give a output, like when a user give a instructions or information to get some output from the computer. So these only devices store the instructions into them, execute the instructions, and then they give us an output. So they are called as they act as a delivery system for software. These devices differ from each other based on their functions. So you have input devices and output devices, storage media, and also the processing units. So in software we have learned about system software and application software. In hardware, devices have categorized into 4 parts. First is input, output, storage media, and processing unit. So here on page number 2.3, you can see this diagram. Hardware have 4 categories. First one is input, output devices, storage devices, and processing devices. Let us learn about different types of hardware devices based on the above classification. So now we are going to learn which are the input devices, which are the output devices, and how they functions. Then we are going to learn about which are the storage media and which are the processing devices. So let's start learning about input devices. Input devices are used to provide instruction to the computer. So input devices are those devices which help the users to give instructions or information to the computer. So first thing, students, with the help of those devices we can type or we can select the file. Those are called as input devices. Like here mouse, keyboard, scanner. These are the input devices. With the help of this we can give instruction to the computer. Mouse is a device that is used to provide instructions to the computer. So with the help of mouse we can give instruction to the computer, like we can select any file, we can give a command to open the file as well, we can give a command to print the document. So these are the instructions or information we are giving with the help of mouse. A mouse has 2 buttons and a scroll wheel on it. So mouse has two buttons that we all know, left and right, and middle one is a scrolling button which help us to take the page up and down. As you move the mouse, the pointer on the screen moves in that same manner. So how the mouse is moving? In the same manner, we have a cursor on a monitor which also moves with this mouse. The pointer on the screen moves in the same manner. The mouse pointer usually looks like an arrow. So we all know on a monitor we can see an mouse pointer. It look like a same as a arrow. Now turn on your page on page number 16. Next is input devices is keyboard. We all know keyboard. What is the use of keyboard? So keyboard is used to type. Computer keyboard is used to provide input to the computer. There are many keys on the keyboard to enter alphabets, numbers, symbol, etc. So basically this also helps users to give an instructions or information to the computer. And we have several keys on keyboard, alphabetical keys over here, numeric keys over here, symbolic key over here, some specific function keys also there in on keyboard. Space bar, enter key, backspace key, this caps lock keys. These are the some functions keys also available on keyboard. So basically keyboard also help user to give an instructions or information to the computer, and the main use of keyboard is for typing. Next input devices is scanner. Scanner is a device used to convert hard copies of objects or images into a digital image on the computer. So scanner, what it look like a same as a Xerox copy machine, students, but some changes are there. When you put your document into Xerox machine, it gives us a hard copy of a document. But when you put a document into a scanner, it gives us a soft copy of the document, or if you are taking an image also. So this image can be saved and edited on the computer. So whatever image you have scanned, that it take exact copy of your document, so you can save this image, or you can edit this image on the computer. So these are the input devices which help us to give a instruction to the computer. First thing was mouse, then keyboard and scanner. So these all are the input devices. So now let's learn about output devices. Output devices are used to display the result or output obtained after performing the calculations. So input devices were helping us to give us instructions or information to the computer. And now output devices is used to give an output to the user or result whatever you have performed on computer. So first output device is monitor. The monitor is a device on which we can see and receive the output provided by the computer. So whatever we are doing on computer, students, we can see everything on monitor only. So monitor used to show the result, to receive an output. Monitors are available in different shapes and sizes. So as we all know, monitors comes in a different sizes, smaller, bigger, as a it look like a same as a television. So television also come in a different sizes. So understood about monitors. Next is printers. The printer gives you a hard copy of the data that is there on the computer on a paper. So whatever is there in your computer, whatever you are watching on monitor, exact same copy printer give us on a paper. This copy is called as a printout. Thus, it helps you by providing information printed on a paper which can carry around wherever we go. So, this printout you can take with you wherever you want to go. So, it's the same like a Xerox machine, students, but you need to put a document into Xerox machine, right? But here, whatever there into your computer, whatever document or photographs is there in your computer, you can take their exact copy of that document on paper. Next thing, Xerox machines comes in a black and white. Here you can take a printout of black and white as well as color printout as well. So this is the use of printer to take printouts whatever we have done on computer. Next is speaker. We all know what is the use of speaker: to listen music, to listen sound. You can hear any sound made by the computer using the speaker connected to it. So you can hear any sounds which computer having. With the help, you need to connect your speakers to a computer. You can listen to songs, warning messages, and people talking over the speakers. If you are having an conference meeting, video meeting, or video call, so with the help of speaker you can listen to the person who are talking. Besides, next thing, you can listen warning messages from the computers, and it also help you to listen song as well. So these are the uses of speakers. So this we learn about output devices. First was monitor, printer, and speaker. Now next is storage devices. So whatever we have saved on computer, where it is stored, how it is stored. So for longer use in future, how can we are using the same document. So now we are going to learn about the storage. Storage devices are used to store computer data on various storage disks and devices. The data on the storage disk and devices remain intact even when you turn off the computer. Please students, whenever if you are storing, you are saving your data on computer, so it has some disk and devices which help the computer to store the data. Next thing, it also help us when you turn off the computer, it remains intact, even it remains very safe as it is into a computer storage devices. So let's learn which are the storage devices. First storage device is hard disk. Hard disk is a storage device that is fixed on a hard disk drive inside the computer cabinet. So hard disk is again a storage device, right? It is a storage device because we are learning storage devices. So it is a storage device which is placed on inside the cabinet. In cabinet means what? CPU. It stores all the data that we required while working on the computer. So whatever data we require for working on computer, it stores it. The amount of data that a hard disk can store is measured in terms of gigabytes. So like when we are buying a grocery, it calculate in kg, right? Kg or liter. But when you are talking about the storage devices, it comes into a gigabytes. In case of computer failure, all the data on the internal hard disk will be lost. So if your computer got failure into it, so your data can be lost from the hard disk. So this is an hard disk. In simple way, students, it is a storage device which help you to store the data into it, and the data into hard disk is stored in the form of gigabytes that you can call as a GB. Next storage device is CD-ROM. CD-ROM is used to read the data stored on the CD or write the data on it. So CD-ROM, compact disk, read only memory, is used to read the whatever stored data, and you can write as well. uh, for that we need to insert the CD into the CD-ROM drive. So when you want to use a CD-ROM, so that time if you want to read instructions or you want to write an instructions on computer, so make sure you first insert a CD into CD-ROM drive. After completing the task, it can be then removed from the drive. So if you are done with your work, you can remove the disk from the drive. So these are the this is two devices which is called as a storage devices, hard disk and CD-ROM. Next is processing devices. Processing devices are devices that receives input from the user, process it and provide the users with an output. So as I told you students, what is the use of computer? Computer take the instructions from the user, then CPU process it, right, and it gives us a result on a monitor. So now we are going to learn about processing devices जो actually में process करते हैं, जो actually में हमारे लिए काम करता है, right? Processing devices are devices that receives an input from the user, process it and provide the users with the output. So first processing device is motherboard. A computer cabinet has a motherboard inside it. It holds and connects all the important components inside it. So it is a board which carry out all the components which are there in the CPU which are there in the cabinet. So and motherboard chip is fixed into a cabinet. Next is CPU. We all know CPU. CPU is called the brain of the computer and is a small chip located on the motherboard. So this CPU chip is located into this motherboard. It is fixed into this. It takes instructions from the other parts of the computer and perform the various tasks. It also performs calculation and take the necessary decisions. So CPU is the brain of the computer. Whatever decisions about computer, CPUs only take, and it performs all the calculations as well. So whenever you give an instructions to print a document, so CPU tells the printer to print this document. So whatever instructions you are giving to the computer, all the instructions are handled by the CPU only. Next is memory. There is a memory chips on the motherboard of a computer. This memory chip comprises into random access memory and read-only memory. RAM and ROM, this both are the memory chip which is available on motherboard. RAM is the main memory of the computer. The RAM is also known as a read and write memory. We can save information on the RAM and also read information stored on it. So whatever data, whatever instructions you are storing on RAM, you can read them also and you can write them also. And RAM stand for random access memory. Next is ROM. ROM is a small part of the main memory where important instructions are stored. So ROM stand for read-only memory, and it can help you only to read the instructions, not to write. Like booting the system, it is a permanent instructions. You can just read them. You can't write them. The computer can only read the instructions stored on ROM. We cannot write, that is save instruction onto the ROM. Hardware becomes less efficient with the time as their failure rate increases. They could get damaged due to physical force and lose their functionality. So previously we have learned that software is not damaged by physical force, right? but here hardware components can be damaged by the physical force and loss of their functionality. So in hardware we have learned about input devices, output devices, storage devices and processing devices. I hope you all have understood about whole the hardware and software, the difference between hardware and software. If you have any kind of query or doubt, you can call me or message me. I will send question and answers on your WhatsApp group. Kindly complete it and send me on my personal number. Thank you.